Macmillan Audio presents The Purpose Path, written and narrated for you by Nicholas Pearce. The Purpose Path, a guide to pursuing your authentic life's work by Nicholas Pearce. To my childhood pastor, the sainted Bishop Arthur M. Brazier, the third pastor of the Apostolic Church of God in Chicago, Illinois, who inspired my passion for purposeful living, learning, and leading.
Foreword by Parker J. Palmer. I began wrestling with questions of purpose and vocation in my early 20s, some 60 years ago. Across 40 years of writing, I've tried to share what I've learned about those questions with my readers, especially about the importance of letting our highest values guide the work we do and how we do it. After all, most of us will spend most of our waking hours working. The way we spend our days will end up being the way we spend our lives. In a society that is forever preoccupied with the pursuit of more, it becomes all too easy to spend our lives chasing a cultural definition of success, to disconnect our working lives from the better angels of our nature. But at age 80, I know beyond doubt how important it is to seek a path more purposeful than one fixated on the pursuit of wealth, prestige, and power. Living what I call an undivided life means learning to listen more carefully for the still, small inner voice of vocation, recognizing our deep longing to join soul and role as closely as we can. The invitation to journey toward an undivided life is an invitation to be made whole, which means to be vulnerable, to wear our hearts on our sleeves against all the cultural advice to the contrary. I am ever grateful for people who inspire us to do exactly that through every kind of weather we encounter on the journey by walking their talk. In his life, in his work, and in this book, Nicholas Pearce is one of those people. Like me, Nicholas was born on the bustling south side of Chicago to hard-working parents who influenced the value he places on work and incubated in him an awareness of and a longing for the transcendent. Like me, he grew up going to church, but unlike me, he began wrestling with questions of vocation at the tender age of 7. As a leading business school professor and expert in the field of leadership and organizational behavior, and as a pastor serving the very church in which he was raised, Nicholas is a living, breathing example of an undivided life. For me, he is proof positive that vocation transcends career, and in this book he shares some of his own experience with the tension between fidelity to the voice of one's vocation and the allure of conventional success. Nicholas writes from the intersection of spirituality and work to communicate these essential truths with elegant simplicity and grounded authenticity. He writes to weary travelers on life's road who long to be free from the burden of fraudulence, the burden of betraying true self, and want more faithfully to express who they are through their livelihood, not in spite of it. At the same time, he speaks to younger people who are trying to summon the courage to start down the path with soul and role conjoined, to bring light, joy, and purpose to all they touch. He calls this the purpose path, one marked by the bravery to align our deepest purposes with our daily words and actions. In these pages, you'll meet influential leaders and everyday people, some who have found their way onto their own purpose paths, some who are still struggling with the disorientation and dissatisfaction that come from living a divided life. You'll read stories of clarity, conviction, and courage, and see why connecting soul and role is so critical to good leadership. Nicholas deftly connects insights.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?